site. Now, next on Outside Source, to China, and for an update on a story that's been grabbing quite a lot of attention inside and outside of China. It's all about this wandering herd of Chinese elephants. They're not doing too much wandering there, but they're just having a snooze, and you would do if you travelled as far as they have in the last 15 months, right across the south of China. It's all thought to have begun in a nature reserve near China's border with Myanmar and Laos. That's where the herd originated. It then travelled north, passing through Pu'er in China's Yunnan province. That was in July last year. Then the herd crossed almost 500 kilometres before last week reaching a place called Jinning. It's on the outskirts of a city called Kunming, which is home to over 6 million people. And the authorities are now desperately trying to prevent the herd from actually reaching the city. Part of that is the herd's being tracked by people both on the ground, and drones are involved too. Here's one local official.
What impressed me most was the incident at the boundary of Yuxi River in Yuxi City. It seemed the wild elephants were checking the roads and surroundings of the river. However, they eventually failed to cross the river. Our staff members used excavators to make gentle slopes on both sides of the river so that they could pass through. The elephants successfully crossed the Yuxi River after walking back and forth for several hours.
Well, Kerry Allen's a BBC China media analyst. She's live with us, as she often is, on Outside Source. Kerry, first of all, just help me understand, why is this herd suddenly a concern now it's approaching this big city?
Well, because Kunming is such a big city. It's got skyscrapers, it's got an airport, it's got train stations, and also in China now, most of the country, people are getting back to normal, so there are no COVID-19 restrictions in place, so people are moving around freely. And there have been cases in the past where elephants could actually kill somebody. There have also been crops being damaged as a result of elephants travelling through areas. So yeah, the authorities are trying to redirect them and get them back to where they came from, an area called Xishuangbanner in the southwest.
And do we have any idea why they chose to leave in the first place?
We don't know. It's very unusual, this. I mean, especially considering the distance they've travelled, 500 kilometres or about 300 miles. Yeah, I mean, this started in March 2020, which was when a lot of China was in lockdown. And, you know, we often heard this phrase, nature is healing, because animals were travelling into areas where, you know, humans no longer were. But the fact that they're still travelling, I mean, this has also thrown up other questions. People have been talking about whether it's potentially that they couldn't find food anymore because of the landscape changing. So they've set out on this journey in order to find food.
And I'm not sure if elephants can technically be social media celebrities, but it sounds like these guys are getting quite close.
Oh gosh, yes, there are so many hashtags on Sina Weibo, which is China's version of Facebook or Twitter. Things like the elephant diaries, where are the elephants now? People are doing fan art, they're drawing pictures of the elephants, and local local influencers are taking to areas. They're finding pineapple on the floor that's been discarded by the elephants, and you know they're very keen to be involved in this story. I mean, it's almost like Homeward Bound. You know, people are really getting involved in this, and they really like that these animals are able to roam freely.
I've only a few seconds, but have they got their own Weibo account yet? That normally happens, doesn't it?
Not yet, no. One will be coming, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will be. All right, always good to have you on the programme. Kerry, thank you very much indeed. This is Kerry Allen, BBC Monitoring's China media analyst. And remember, on all the stories we cover, whether it's elephants in China or the global crime sting we were talking about a good half an hour ago or so, you can get much more information online from BBC News. The address is bbc.com/news, or you can go to the BBC News app, which you can download onto your smartphone, whether you have an Android